Okay, today, August 25th, El Mayo, about a year after delivered to U.S. authorities by Chapo's son, has pled guilty. El Mayo pled guilty today.
We begin with that breaking news on one of the most notorious Mexican cartel leaders. He evaded authorities for decades. By now, the man simply called El Mayo will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
For 50 years, For 50 years, I led a large criminal network. From the beginning until the moment of my capture, I paid bribes to police officers, military personnel, and politicians in Mexico. He also, newsflash, he agreed to hand over $15 billion in assets.
A world away from the violent cartel he used to rule, a one-time kingpin stood in a Brooklyn courtroom today and confessed to his life of crime. The once feared drug lord known as El Mayo, Ismael Zambada Garcia, now 75, looking more like a grandfather, as he told a federal judge the tale of his violent life. A trail of drug-fueled carnage that dates to 1969 when he was just a teen.
Now, are they going to actually get that? That makes him actually quite wealthy. I don't know what they got from El Chapo. Now, are they going to get it? I mean, $15 billion. So he's 77 years old. He's taking a life sentence. What else was he going to get? I'm sure his deal making, he protected some of his family and different people. He said, I started getting involved with illegal drugs in 1969, started trafficking the reefers. He was 19 in 1969, so that was 54 years ago. So he had a hell of a run. He had a 54-year run. I mean, how much is he going to do? 5, 7, 8 years? He probably cut a deal. We'll see. I doubt if he goes to that Florence Supermax because El Chapo has made it clear that that's a living hell. He estimated he trafficked 1.5 million breaks of yayo, most of which went to the U.S. The organization I led promoted corruption in my home country. So probably telling on politicians, this is what the U.S. government wants. Is this going to mean anything? As we know, we knocked off Pablito down in Colombia and all that stuff. And no matter who we kill, incarcerate, right? D-Rugs just becomes, it's a growing, just these last 5 years of all these ODs in the United States. The amount of people that have died in the last 5 years is more than have died in the 100 years before it from ODs, right? He waived all his rights to trial and appeal. He said he did so because the time has come to acknowledge half a century of criminal activity. He will be sentenced on January 13th, 2026. This is a historic day. With this guilty plea, the Sinaloa cartel has been decapitated, the prosecutor said. Meanwhile, the homicide rate in Sinaloa has risen 400% since his July kidnapping as people are beating it out. Frank Perez, lawyer for Mayo, assured us that his client neither collaborated nor will collaborate with authorities. In a written statement, he says this is not about a cooperation agreement. I can categorically state there's no agreement under which he has cooperated.
Federal prosecutors say that he founded the Sinaloa cartel and built a sophisticated criminal network that brought deadly drugs into the United States. And his capture has all the markings of a Hollywood thriller.
Here's Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger.
A world away from the violent cartel he used to rule, a one-time kingpin stood in a Brooklyn courtroom today and confessed to his life of crime. The once feared drug lord known as El Mayo, Ismael Zambada Garcia, now 75, looking more like a grandfather, as he told a federal judge the tale of his violent life. A trail of drug-fueled carnage that dates to 1969 when he was just a teen and planted marijuana for the first time. I went on, he said, to sell heroin and other drugs, especially cocaine. It was a tidal wave of drugs that flooded the United States.
Over the last 3 decades, El Mayo and his accomplices made billions of dollars. hundreds of millions each year they were making by bringing poisonous drugs into our country.
Now, the Mexico is still kind of mad because remember, they feel he was kidnapped, which he was. New president, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, reported this morning that despite the plea agreement, the Mexican government still does not have precise info about what occurred in this capture, July 25th, 2024. What's going on? So Ovidio Guzman and 17 of his family members have entered witness protection. As we know, they crossed the border. Mayo is basically throwing himself. Once they took the death penalty off the table, there was really no point in him to fight. He's probably very uncomfortable in the county jail. He just wants to get to a federal prison cell where he can get his medication and some degree of comfort. He'll be as comfortable as one could be. I bet you in this deal he ain't going to Florence ADX. That must be what he's getting out of this. That he ain't, because Chapo sure talks about like that, like it's a living hell. Violence is very high in Sinaloa. Pitched battles in Culiacan. Nothing is stopped. What do you, if you guys, is not that anyone that watches this is part of anything, but have you heard about the prices of anything going up or down? For those who think like, oh, Trump closed the border, let me tell you something. Like, I just went to Tijuana to get some dental work. Or I had some elaborate dental work in the last. I did the main stuff here, and it was fucking $11,000. And then, so the last little bit I did over there. And I've gone to Tijuana a few times. At Tijuana, at the El Paso, Juarez, at any of these crossings, tens of thousands of people walk back and forth and drive across every day who aren't citizens. People that work, they show their work pass, they come over. Like, there's massive, and the amount of Mexico during pandemic, Mexico took over from China as our number one trading partner. There's massive amounts of border crossings. Now, there isn't the people with the baby running across a river to try to get over. They put a stop to that, and they're not letting illegal people in, which fine. I mean, I'm kind of mixed about that. I mean, illegal immigrants make the economy grow, but I'm not here to talk about that. But the border is not closed. Mexico is our single biggest trading partner. Mexico is a big middle high income country that buys a lot of stuff from us. Mexico is our number one trade partner now, bigger than China. So the border is not closed. So the idea that, they got these guys and the border's closed. I've said this example before. Imagine America was Mexico, and Mexico was the rich country with the big demand for drugs. And imagine you live in Michigan, you live in Detroit, and you can drive 50 miles from Detroit and you can buy opium base from the mountains. There's some local police you can pay a couple $100 to, and they'll let you do whatever. You can grow huge fields of reefer and maybe like a little light depth thing to get some little half kush. You can mix up your H. You can order chemicals off of the dark web, mix up Fetty Wap and crystal meth. And for every dollar you spend, the wholesale price is, $10 just across the Canadian border, right? In Windsor from Detroit. So what? You have people walking across. You would have cars driving. You hide it in engine blocks. Finishing up Behind Street Dreams, my documentary about the Brown family. Their last big load they got from Pakistan. They were getting like 14 untouched bricks of H, not petty, from Pakistan. And it was coming in a massive engine. So it was being imported through a legal country. It was like a diesel engine for a marine vessel. And just 14, in something that weighs, a piece of metal that weighs 10,000 pounds, 14 keys might be this big or something. It was hidden. You had to turn and twist 20 different things. They didn't find it. one of the people in the Pakistan side was compromised and gave the information out. So same thing is happening with stuff coming over the border. Things are coming in liquid. Yayo and crystal mizef, they'll melt it and put it in liquid, or they'll put it in gasoline, and then you hit it with some other chemical on the U.S. side and you bring it back. They can't stop that. There's so much activity. You walk across, there's people on thousands of you. When I was coming back across, there's thousands of people in line. Oh, here's a quick tip for you. If you're ever intimidated by the long line to get back in the U.S. on foot, just use your American privilege. I felt bad that I did this when I found out, but shit, just walk past walk past the Mexican nationals. Mexican Americans were doing the same thing I was doing. And just walk to the front. No one's going to say nothing, and then just cut and go through, or else you'll be in line for hours. So I am slightly of a bad person, but hey. So the border ain't closed. El Mayo's pled guilty. Does it mean anything? He's gonna give up a lot of corrupt Mexican politicians, maybe, but we already knew they were corrupt. And what are we gonna invade Mexico? See, when we invaded Panama for Noriega, Panama is a nothing country, right? I mean, Colombia economically back in the 80s and 90s, even now, but definitely back then, it's kind of was so tiny compared to the USA. So what? You want to do something inappropriate and send our military there? Mexico, the Mexican people, they have a strong, self-identity. They don't want U.S. troops just coming over there. That's not gonna... We may be able to go over there and assassinate some guys, but that's not what the drug business is. The drug business is relationships. The drug business is Hector, the lawyer in Mexico City, went to U of M with Al Prophet, right? And we know each other. And whatever the hell is going on, Hector knows if he can arrange something to get over the border somehow and get to me in Detroit, and we both got college degrees, and I'll get the money back to him. That ain't got nothing to do with any military. And that's really what the heart of it is. It's the higher level people that can move the money around. Now, if we kill off, incarcerate a lot of these old school, more violent people, you may see the violence go down, which is good. But really, the amounts may go up, because as you get less violent people and more smarter people, and the behind-the-scenes people really take control, you'll just see less. Listen, if someone in Mexico is just smart enough to help to get these ODs go way down, then Trump could take his victory. So be interesting to see what goes on strategically. El Mayo has pled guilty. Al Prophet, American Dope.